And welcome back everyone to another episode of Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. This is my fifth playthrough of this game. My fifth, uh, my fifth let's play of the game. We're still going through it for the first time. And where we last left off was the flashback case, the murder of Daisy, a young child in which our victim uh, is somehow connected to. Because now we're back as Poirot after playing as the detective. Now I'm unsure what I'm supposed to be doing because I left the game for a bit after I took care of the Daisy case, because that case took me a long time to get through because it was a new area in the game. What's this again? And then I took a bit of a break from the game because of how long it took me to get through the last episode. That I needed to mentally recharge from this type of game, but I really want to get back into it and see what we can figure out. Also in here now.
Most of the passengers pass by the bar during the day. They eat, drink, write. Maybe I can use this information for my investigation.
Oh, that's right. We're looking for somebody who smokes and or vapes, because at the murder scene there was a vape liquid. Can you find out who was left-handed? What is the best way to know if someone is right-handed or left-handed? Asked Mr. To observe the hands of the passengers. Ask passengers directly if they are right-handed or left-handed. Well, they could easily deny that if they think they're suspicious. Ask Book if the passenger information is stored elsewhere, somewhere. I don't think train company's going to take passenger information like, "Sir or madam or them, are you right-handed, left-handed, or are you ambidextrous? We need to know this information in case you plan on committing a murder in one of our cars."
Right.
Fantastico. Muy fantastico.
Good work. He appears to be an observant young man and serves the passengers regularly.
What's the best way to know if someone's right-handed? Okay, so I guess we're doing this again. Ask everyone to hold something in their hands. Well, true, because instinctively you would reach for the hand that you use. Ask everyone to write something. That could work too, because your handwriting would be different depending on what hand you use, unless you're ambidextrous. Ask everyone to reveal which hand they write with, because that's another thing. Ambidextrous people, our murderer could be right and left-handed. To explain why there are so many left-handed wounds and right-handed wounds. Instead of it being two people, it could be one person who's just ambidextrous. Why did I not think of that being a possibility? Fucking hell, man. That is the most common way, because the handwriting would be different.
If I ask them to write something trivial, they may do it
In the
instinctively.
hand that you do use, it would be clear and normal. With the hand that you don't use, you struggle. It looks much different because you're struggling to hold it right. Ask Mr. Miguel to keep track of who is left-handed. Remember a conversation with Book about the hands of passengers. For people who I have tested before, remember if they use their right or left hand.
Adequate. Yes, I will remember which people use their right or left hand.
You should. You have basically a photographic memory.
That's the right answer.
Savant syndrome. Nervous lady.
Mademoiselle Debenham, I have a few questions for you.
Of course.
Last night, write her address. Mr. Lesson, smoker, scarlet kimono. Let's go with tonight.
Let's start with
Let's
your
go with last night.
movements last night.
There's little to tell. I went to bed and slept.
Did you know the man who was killed?
I saw him for the first time during lunch yesterday.
Did you notice anything about him?
Well, if I believed in auras, I might say
Did
he
you notice
seemed
anything suspicious
dark.
about him at all?
Would you mind writing your address on this paper for me?
Not at all.
That's it. Mademoiselle Debenham is right-handed.
Yes, because I happen to know my left from my right. But did you notice anything suspicious about Ratchet at all, Mr. Ratchet? If he's connected to the killing of that kid, then yes, he is very Ratchet.
Do you recall what time Mademoiselle Olsen went to get some aspirin from Madame Hubbard?
I remember glancing at the clock. She left our room just after 10:30 p.m.
Was she away for a long time?
About 5 minutes.
That confirms what Madame Hubbard told me.
Do you smoke?
Do you smoke by any chance?
No, I never have.
That's a dirty lie. You're the smoker I've ever seen one, and I've seen many smokers. Practically everybody in my family either smokes or vapes, except for me because I can't, because it reeks, and I can't have weed because I'm allergic to THC.
Do you own a scarlet nightgown?
No, it isn't mine.
Who's that?
I don't know. What do you mean?
You do not say, I have no such thing. You say, it isn't mine. Meaning
So,
that
which means you know of
who
it, and you know
belongs to.
about
Am I
it.
correct?
Oh, I see. No. I woke up this morning about 5 a.m. with the feeling that the train had been standing still for a long time. I opened the door, and I saw someone in a scarlet kimono some way down the corridor. Her back was turned. It was impossible to see who it was.
I understand.
Okay, well that's all we have for you,
Thank you for your
now
assistance,
at least.
mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle. Oi, Blondie. Can I talk to you?
Mademoiselle, I am sorry to disturb you, but I need to ask you a few questions.
Are you the investigator?
I am.
We are lucky you are on the train. What do you want to know?
I want you to quit sweet talking me first.
I hear, mademoiselle, that you were the last person to see the murdered man alive.
I do not know. It may be so. I opened the door of his compartment by mistake. I was much ashamed. It was a most awkward mistake.
You actually saw him?
I mean, we
Yeah.
all make mistakes.
He was reading a book.
But I'm sure he
And
wasn't
what
very
did you
pleased. He
do
was a very
after
terrible
that,
man.
mademoiselle?
I went into the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I asked her for some aspirin, and she gave it to me. I usually carry extra aspirin for the refugees, but I gave mine to a camp in Turkey. They needed it
I
more
mean,
than
she's
me.
a humanitarian, so maybe she's not our suspect. My volume is a little low, so I'm having to guess on the accent here. Fantastico.
My little gray cells do not let me down.
Nor does your little gray coat.
Did Mrs. Hubbard ask you whether the communicating door between her compartment and that of Monsieur Ratchet was bolted?
Yes,
And was it?
yes.
And after that, what did you do?
After that, I went back to my compartment, took the aspirin, and lay down. That was around 10:50 p.m.
Is
And you
there
have your roommate?
anyone else in your compartment?
Yeah, a young English lady. Very nice, very amiable.
After the train left Vinkovsky, did she leave the compartment?
No, I'm sure she did not.
Why are you so sure if you were asleep?
There we go. Fix my volume.
I am used to waking at a sound.
Oh
I
yeah,
am sure
she's sweet as
she
all
had
right.
come down from the berth above I should have awakened.
Did you yourself leave the compartment after that?
Not until this morning.
Do you own or know of the existence of a scarlet kimono?
Do you have a scarlet silk kimono, mademoiselle?
No, indeed. I have a good, comfortable dressing gown of Jaeger material.
Jaeger. Do you happen to smoke or
Do
vape?
you smoke, mademoiselle?
No, I can't stand the smell of tobacco.
Do you vape? Because people who vape because they don't like tobacco, the smell of it. They like the smell of the fruity stuff.
Perhaps you will
I
be
need
so
your
amiable
autograph.
as to write me down your address.
With pleasure.
Right-handed.
Mademoiselle Olsen is indeed right-handed.
She's in
This
the
was
clear,
a
I
very
suppose.
interesting conversation, mademoiselle. I thank you.
If you have any other questions, I'll be in my compartment. Good luck, Mr. Poirot.
Thank you very much. You may go. Okay, on to the next part of the train. Find more people. Okay, we have you. You two. Can I talk to you? Because you're my favorite person on the train so far.
Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
The important things first. Write down
Can
your
you
address.
write your address on this paper, please?
You want to pay me a visit?
Maybe.
Who knows, Monsieur Fauché? He is right-handed, there can be no doubt.
But do
Are
you
you a
smoke?
smoker?
I'm trying to quit, but yes. I'm now down to just 1 pack of cigarettes a week. If you're
Good for
looking
you.
for a heavy smoker, you should talk to Hutaru.
And last night.
It is, of course, about the murder of
Good for
Monsieur
you, sir, trying to
Ratchet.
quit. That's
Can
fantastic.
you tell me your movements last night?
I understand. Yesterday evening, I took a break at Vinkovsky station with Hotaru. We then went to our quarters in the staff accommodations, a section of the luggage car. Freya was there, reading, and I went to bed right after. Freya is there now, I think, and Hotaru is in the kitchen. They can verify my story.
What time was this?
11:30 p.m. or a bit after. The snow was beginning to fall heavily.
I see. Thank you. Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
All right. You, sir.
I'll
Can I
keep an
just,
eye on them instead.
So I can't talk to them. I can just observe them, apparently. Right. Is there anyone back here in the restaurante? There's Book. He's the only one back here. Book. Right on your address.
Progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I'll report to you as soon as I can.
I wish he would have had Book write down his address. Book already panicked when he thought we were suspecting him in the very beginning, even though we weren't, and, you know. Keep him on his toes. Hello.
Ah, Monsieur Maury, would you have a few minutes to give me? I have some questions to ask.
Do I look like I can answer questions? The room is spinning. My head is
Are
about
you
to
drunk?
explode.
Drugged?
You were celebrating last night?
Celebrating. When Freya always wins. Ah, what am I saying? If you want my answers to your questions to make sense, help me recover. You see there, the magnet on the fridge. That is my special recipe. I call it my day after survival tonic. If you could make me my special tonic.
It's the one thing I never
might
understood about people
survive
getting drunk. They go
long
out and
enough
drink to have
answer
fun,
the
to celebrate
questions.
things,
John
but then they
knows
feel like shit the very
very
next day.
well. He can help you
Maybe
with
it's
that
me. I don't understand
preparation.
why you would want to feel
Very
like
well,
trash the
Mr.
very
Maury.
next day. You feel good that night, and
I
by the
will
morning,
make you, your
you feel like you're on
day
death's
after
door.
survival tonic.
I don't understand it, but to humans just don't make sense.
Et voilà.
Alright, let's look at your little recipe. Day after survival tonic. Half cup of lemon juice. Fresh sparkling water. 6 mint leaves. Ginger juice. Okay. Can I search for the ingredients? Anything else over here that's part of the ingredient? No. Is it in here? Apparently not. It's 11.
Missing half of the tonic ingredients.
Is this all you need?
How are you feeling, Monsieur Maury?
Do you have my tonic? I can barely think.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how we do this. Squeeze the lemon.
I have all the ingredients for Monsieur Maury's tonic. I have to go and see Monsieur Fauché so he can prepare it for me.
Alright, I'll be back. Mr. Fauché, I need to see you again. Book, go to hell. I'm so mean to Book. But it's his own fault he wouldn't leave me alone that one episode. He kept talking and talking and talking while I was trying to get the fucking thing done. And he wouldn't shut up, and I had to say I would hurt him to do in order for him to shut up.
May I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
I need you to make this for me.
I need your help to prepare a cocktail.
What is this phrase? This is music to my ears. What can I fix for you? A mojito? A gin and tonic? Or perhaps a
Gin and tonic,
martini?
all right.
Shaken? Not stirred?
It's not for me, but for Monsieur Maury.
Ah, his day after survival tonic. Unfortunately, I know it well.
Here is everything that was listed on the magnet.
Excellent. I can take it from here.
Well, if you know it well,
Mr.
you don't need
Poirot,
the list
I'm
because you know
uncertain
everything that's
about the
inside
lemon
it.
juice. Is it half a lemon or a full lemon for the recipe?
Half a lemon.
I can't remember if Hotaru prefers it with ginger or without. Do you remember?
If
I can assure you that he will want the ginger.
but I had to grab the damn thing.
There you are,
Ugh.
sir. Hotaru will be himself again.
I
Excellent.
mean, it may not be
Thank you
alcoholic in
very
that, but it looks disgusting. It looks like piss with lemon. Very rancid looking cup of lemon juice with ginger. The only thing good in that is the ginger. 'Cause I do like ginger. Book, drop dead. I am so rude to him, and I don't care if people like Book or not. Hello, I have your tonic.
Here you go, Monsieur Maury. I hope this will help you.
Thank you very much. Please give me a moment while this takes effect. It will be a while, I'm afraid. But I will not move from the kitchen.
Since I have to wait,
I
do you
always
know where
like
I
how
can
people say,
find
give me a moment, and
Mademoiselle
it takes them an
Denise?
hour and a half to just get up
She's
on
in
their
the
feet.
staff quarters in the luggage car. If the door is locked, Jean will have the key.
Thank you. I will return. I hope you have a speedy recovery.
It's like my mother. Mikey, I'll be there to get you in 5 minutes, and she doesn't show up for 35 minutes.
It's locked.
Yeah, I was told that someone had the key. I just have to find where this someone would be. Because it's not my key. But Mikey needs a key. Could you move, please?
Monsieur Mori told me that you are the one who has the key to open the luggage car door. I will need it.
Yes, that's right. Here it is. Please don't forget to give it back to me.
I will not forget.
I'll bring it back once I've made a carbon copy so I can take and get it made.
I have a favor to ask. Could you visit the passengers who are in their rooms and explain there has been an error with their allergy and diet form?
But Monsieur Poirot, I made no errors.
Of course not. Call it a computer error.
Yes, it is possible, but even if I can see this is part of your investigation, I do not understand it.
I would ask that you observe which hand each passenger uses.
Ah, you wish to know if they use the right or left hand when they write?
Or
That
they're
is my
ambidextrous.
I will take on this mission.
Because that's still a possibility that we have one killer who's able to use both hands. So we don't want to rule that out. You know, that's always a possibility. It's horrifyingly rare, but it's a possibility. This is a murder case. We must look at every single possibility.
That's it. It's open now.
Well, it should be. You just put a key in the tumbler. Although I like to know why she's back here in a locked room. Hello. We're alone and no one can hear you scream.
Hello, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I ask you a few questions?
I don't have a minute. My career is ruined, and it's not my fault.
You're always
But
having a
how
crisis.
did this terrible thing come to pass?
My supplies, passenger luggage, our living space. There's so little room. I gave the cargo handlers in Istanbul strict instructions how to stack my crates containing the ingredients I need for my desserts. So as one box is used up, it can be discarded.
And these fools of cargo handlers did not follow your instructions?
Ignored completely. I have 4 crates that must be
That
moved
sounds
from
like
there
the
to
American
here to correct the order they are stacked.
traveling
Placing
system.
the wrong crate on top of a
We
smaller
need
crate
this
will
put
crush it.
here
The
in a
contents
particular
and my
way, and you
career.
know what they
Calm
do?
yourself, Mademoiselle.
Yeet it
I
into the
understand.
cart, and then
So,
they just leave it
the
where it
problem
lies.
is these 4 crates must be moved there, but carefully.
Yes.
Mikey
I
always
have to
finds
move
something
these
to
4
complain about
boxes
in
from this
games about
location
real life situations.
to here. But there is not much space to move the boxes, and I have to be careful never to put a bigger box on top of a smaller one, or the smaller crate will be destroyed.
The problem is clear. I shall
But
assist
what if I want the smaller box to be destroyed? So we have that, we have this. Something has to go there, so we maybe put this. That was very
You are a lifesaver.
odd. A lot of
at
clicking,
least
a lot of moving around.
deserve
There's so much organization.
Thank you. I will gladly answer your questions.
Important things were right to
Would you
goddamn
mind
address.
writing your address on this paper? I'm asking everyone on the train for addresses, in case I need to contact them once they leave the train in Paris.
I understand.
Yes, that's it. Mademoiselle Nielsen is right-handed.
He's very happy about that. Do you smoke vape?
No, I never have.
Thank you.
Well, that was straightforward.
Can you tell me your movements of last night?
Last night after dinner, I stayed in the kitchen until 12:15 a.m. Then I joined Jean and Hotaru in our quarters. Then all of us read quietly in our beds until we fell asleep.
A very studious staff. However, Monsieur Maury doesn't seem to have followed the same literary pursuit as the others.
I'm seeing evidence of a poker game here.
Do they have
Liquor,
something to do with his
playing cards. I'm seeing a lot of evidence of a poker game, not a book club.
I rather think that you didn't just read last night.
What makes you say that?
The empty rum bottles. Were their labels part of your reading last night?
My fault. I must have left them there before I put them in the bin. And these are straight from the bar. Our passengers must have drunk them.
I have my doubts. But why would she feel the need to lie? That deck of cards. I imagine that you didn't spend all evening reading.
Yes, you're right. We played a little last night, but it wasn't long. Nobody really wanted to.
Knowing about the card game
People
does not
just don't
seem
play
to
cards because
cover
they don't
my
want to. They play cards
investigation.
because they want to. If maybe they're bored, so they think, well, why not? We'll play cards. Playing cards is fun. It's a great way to pass the time, especially if you're betting for money. Now, can you explain to me the head chef's fucking headache? The head chef's got a fucking headache. I had to go get a gin and tonic.
He even asked me to make him his day after tonic. He blurted out, "Freya always wins." Wins what? Looking around, it is clear you were gambling and drinking most of the night.
You don't understand. It's late when we're off duty, but we need to unwind. And now there's been a murder? Yes, I admit it. We went overboard last night. But please don't tell Mr. Book. It's against regulations. We could all be fired.
Mademoiselle, I realize your difficult jobs have been made more difficult. But as you say, there has been a murder. I must have the truth.
Of course. I'm so sorry.
It's not such a crime. I'll leave it there and check in with Monsieur Fauché. Thank you for your
I mean, I don't
answers,
think
Mr.
I should
You're welcome.
get them in trouble for some gambling. I mean, if casinos can allow gambling, I don't see why people who work on a train can't just stay in the back of the train when they're off duty and play a few rounds of cards. It's not my business. And I'm not against gambling as long as you're legal. You know, you're legal age, and you don't have a history of cheating. I don't got no problem with people gambling. I don't do it myself because I enjoy money, but if people want to gamble, that's their business, not mine.
Here is your key. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
About the little favor I asked of you.
Aha, but of course. I was able to get new allergy forms from guests who were in their compartments. Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Masterman, Count and Countess Andreni, they are all right-handed. I also asked Princess Dragomirov, but she had her assistant, Madame Schmidt, sign for her. She is right-handed as well.
You have exceeded my expectations.
So don't we need the princess's
Thank
actual
you, Monsieur
handwriting,
Fauché.
not
I'll
her
come
assistant?
back to you if I have more questions.
Because we seem to be running out of people to check on.
So, Poirot,
I have not finished yet.
Okay, so we're not dealing with you yet. Can I do anything with you gentlemen yet?
I'll keep an eye on them instead.
Nope.
Captain Arbuthnot, I beg your pardon, but could you answer a few questions for me?
I'm grateful you found my ticket, Poirot, but now is not convenient.
I certainly didn't expect such a resistance.
I think we should insist. I mean, there is a murder thing going on. Can I get you to write
How
your
is
address?
Mademoiselle Locke, Doctor?
The vital signs are improving, but she is still unconscious.
I understand. Thank you for looking after her.
When she gets up, I need to see if I can get her address too, just in case. Because she's so far, she's my only connection to Ratchet.
I need to be sure before accusing the captain. I'll observe her instead. Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course, how can I help?
Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
Okay, contradiction. Stuck two elements which reveal the contradiction in the testimonies of Miss Debenham and Miss Holson. To bed around 10:55. Slept through the night. Got aspirin at 10:30. Miss saw the woman in the red kimono in the corridor at 5 a.m. Okay, so she says she went to bed around 10:55. And she got the aspirin was at 10:30 and slept through the night. But if she slept through the night, how would she have seen the red kimono at 5 a.m.? That's still nighttime. The sun is still down at 5 in the morning. Aha. Should have heard leave at 5 a.m. Yes. conclude.
Strange, this story. If Mademoiselle Olsen is such a light sleeper, why didn't she tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham getting out of bed? She even made a point to tell me the opposite. I'm right again.
Almost as if she has
That
something to
happens to me a
hide,
lot.
huh?
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you.
My little gray cells did not let me down.
Is anyone on this train left-handed, Poirot? Did you do it? And you're just not telling me? Dominant hand of the bar car passengers.
I do not think that's the right answer.
Okay, so they're all right-handed as
That's
well.
the right answer.
Miss Hubbard. Good. Yes, he does.
Good job.
Mr. McQueen.
Fantastic. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Yes, it does. Anything else that is in the yellow that I'm not seeing? Apparently not. Okay.
I'll keep an eye on them instead.
Okay, that
I
doesn't help me out here then. Can I go check on the chef, see if his tonic has worked his magic yet, so that way I can get some more answers. The only person we haven't had write down anything is Boog, the chef, and the doctor, I believe, unless the doctor was part of the list from the one guy, and our detective.
How are you?
It's better. Thank you.
Then may I ask you some questions? It will not take long.
Quickly, please. I have hungry passengers to feed.
The important parts. Write down your address.
Write your address on this paper.
My address? I don't see why.
I think I hear Monsieur Book approaching.
My address? Yes, of course.
Another right-handed person.
Not surprised, we still haven't found a left-handed person. But do you smoke?
You are a heavy smoker.
My job. It is very stressful.
Would you happen to know who vapes on the train? A banana flavor?
Oh, yes. The smell disgusts me. What is wrong with the good tobacco?
I do not have time to answer that.
I think
Who is
vaping
it?
smells
I
better,
only see one person
but I
who
try not to go around the THC
It's
vapes because, again,
Captain
allergic.
Captain
But the tobacco vapes, I mean, if it's the ones with a little bit of nicotine in it, then I suppose I don't really understand vaping.
Can you tell me your movements last
But I
night?
don't understand smoking
Oh,
anything else, the same way I
nothing
don't understand
special.
drinking.
When I went off duty, I joined John and Freya in a compartment. I read for a short while, then went to bed early.
Reading? I'm not sure you have recovered enough to tell me the truth. Don't waste what little
Your
energy you
co-worker
have
already
recovered to
told
lie
me about the
this
poker
morning.
game last night.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Poirot. You're right. It obviously wasn't reading that made my head hard like that. But if you told Monsieur Book,
job. I will keep your secret, but I am investigating a murder. You must tell me the truth.
Thank you.
And just
Your
be honest with
testimony
me.
was
I
invaluable
don't care
to
if you
me.
were in the back
Thank
drinking and playing
Take
cards. You were
care,
off.
Monsieur.
You were off duty
My
at the time.
palate
It's not a
depends on
problem.
your good health.
Okay, so I still have to interrogate the captain. He's been apprehensive. He's also someone I haven't gotten a hold of, I don't think, as the captain, because he did tell me to fuck off earlier. But I do need to speak with everybody on the train. I have to get information on everybody that is on this train. So one way or another, I have to talk to him. I'm hoping now that I've done the little trivia parts of the game and I've talked to everybody else that I can talk to, that he'll let me talk to him now. Which store are you again? But this time I must insist.
Captain Arbuthnot, I know that you are the only person on this train to smoke e-cigarettes.
Aha.
We found a vial of e-liquid at the crime scene. Will you talk to me about this, or should I pass on what I've learned to the police?
All right. Come in if you must.
Thank you.
I have just a few questions for you.
Very well. Let's hear them.
Important
Could
part,
you
write down your
write down
address.
your address here, please?
My address. If you insist.
Right-handed.
This man is right-handed. Is this e-cigarette liquid yours?
What flavor is it?
Banana.
Well, that is awkward. That's my flavor of choice. But I have no idea what he's doing there. Whatever.
Can you
Well, either you did it,
how it ended
or you're
up
being
there?
framed.
I have no idea. I never entered the man's room, Poirot. That's the truth.
But again, either you did it and you're lying, or you're being horribly framed.
There is nothing you can recall last night that in any way struck you as suspicious.
It's nothing. A mere detail.
Allow me to be the judge.
Well, before returning to my room, I went to the lounge car to get a glass of water. When I was passing through the first-class corridor, I noticed that the door, which is just after your room, 201, was not quite closed, and the person who was inside peered out in a furtive sort of way. Then he closed the door quickly. I know there's nothing in that, but it was the furtive way it was done that caught my attention. Struck me as a bit odd.
I am
Just a bit.
Thank you for letting me know.
Last
What
night.
were you doing last night around 1:15?
1:15. I believe I was still talking to that young American fellow, Mr. McQueen, the secretary of the man who was killed. We were in his compartment.
He was a friend or acquaintance of yours?
No, I never saw him before this journey. We'd hit it off at dinner, and the conversation continued into the early hours.
Until what time was that?
Until 1:45 or so. Then I retired to my room and went to sleep.
Yeah, sorry about this,
young
about this
English
meeting,
lady, Mademoiselle Debenham, was at the Tocatlian Hotel. Perhaps you met her there?
We exchanged a few words, fellow Brits abroad, that sort of thing.
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham?
Nothing whatsoever. We barely spoke.
The director of the Orient Express, Monsieur Bouc, thinks the assassin is a woman.
And that is enough to accuse her. She had nothing to do with this murder.
How can you be so certain?
The idea is absurd. Ratchet was a perfect stranger to her. She'd never seen him before.
Ah, did she tell you so?
Well, yes, maybe she did. She may have commented once upon his somewhat unpleasant appearance. If a woman is concerned, as you seem to think, to my mind, without any evidence, I can assure you that Miss Debenham could not possibly be implicated.
It's clear that the captain is defending Miss Debenham.
Yes, we know that
A
for a
woman he
fact.
supposedly doesn't know very well.
Interesting.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome.
So 2 elements of importance discovered during the interrogation of the captain. A bottle of vape juice is found at the crime scene. The Queen confirmed the captain opponent. Spoke with him until 1:45. Because he is the only one we can confirm that does vape. But he might have an alibi. I can't accuse him because his alibi protects him despite the liquid found at the crime scene, so he must be being framed. But he's the only person we know that vapes. But he's also right-handed. So he has to be framed to be looking terrible.
In Ratchet's room is a solid clue. He has an alibi.
And we still know if the killer is ambidextrous.
Any other proof? My little gray cells did not let me down.
So I guess I had to confront some people. Thank you for leaving your door open for me. Now I just have to find where they're at. I would assume that's what I have to do now is confront those two. Because I'm still no closer to getting at the answers that I need. Who are you again?
Mademoiselle Debenham, I have a few questions for you.
Of course.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you for your
nobody.
assistance, mademoiselle. I observed her instead.
we go.
Pardon this intrusion, Mademoiselle Olsen, but something you told me earlier confuses me.
Oh, please, come in.
With pleasure, thank you so much.
How can you be sure Mademoiselle Debenham was in bed all night?
As I told you, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise wakes me up. If Fraulein Debenham had gotten out of her bed, I would have heard her. I got up this morning around 8 a.m. She was sleeping soundly.
Confrontation. You claimed to have seen Mono. 5 o'clock.
I know there is a clue somewhere to prove she's lying. Are you certain you would have heard her?
Yes. Why are you asking?
I spoke to Mademoiselle Debenham and she told me that she got up around 5 o'clock in the morning. She opened the door and looked down the corridor. It was then that she saw a woman in a red kimono. How do you explain that?
I think I must have been sleeping very soundly not to have heard it. Oh, but does that make me a suspect?
I am not accusing anyone, mademoiselle. Do not worry. I am just trying to determine what happened last night. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, madam. We've interrogated everybody that we can. Oh, alibis. Mr. McQueen was talking with him.
That was easy.
And now we have to report to Book. Book, you fat piece of shit, I'm coming to speak with you about my report. Clearly it was a ghost that killed this man. Book's always hard to get to. He has to sit far away in the middle of the fucking train.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I identified the person responsible for the bottle of liquid for the vape found at the crime scene.
So, this is our culprit? Do we hold him?
No, unfortunately, this bottle belongs to Captain Arbuthnot, but he has an alibi, confirmed by Monsieur McQueen for the time of the murder.
Unless there are two murders and they're in it together, cause McQueen works for Ratchet and the captain is a vape smoker. They're working together.
According to Dr. Constantine's report, the stab wounds were made by at least one right-handed and one left-handed person, and with different strength. For the moment, everyone I have checked is right-handed. It is impossible to draw any conclusions as yet. However, I still have a few people to interrogate, notably the Russian princess.
You still have many avenues to explore?
Indeed, the case is far from over, mon ami. There is no trace of the murder weapon on the train, as yet. The killer could have hidden it anywhere.
It must be somewhere.
Indeed, as you say, it must be somewhere.
Hello again.
Monsieur Book, Monsieur Poirot.
Michel, calm down.
But it's Mrs. Hobart. She says she found the murder weapon in her room. She's very upset.
Well, would
Let's
this
go,
be
Poirot.
perfect timing, huh? Book, how dare you leap before me? How dare you leap before me, Book? I am the head investigator of this case. I must be the one that leaves the restaurant first to get to the room. And so where does she say again? I forget. Whoopsie, wrong button. I need this button. Because I needed information on characters. Mrs. Hubbard, Mrs. Hubbard, Mrs. Hubbard. 204. Okay, so we're just outside.
I demand to be allowed to leave this train!
Madame, we are in the mountains, trapped in a snowdrift.
Stating the obvious, there is a murderer among us.
You're safer on this train than out there. Out there, you will freeze to death. You'll be
Please,
mauled by
Mademoiselle,
animals.
take a deep breath and tell us what occurred.
Technically, you're safer on this
Where
train.
did you find the knife?
I wanted to get a handkerchief from my purse, and when I opened it, I saw it! A bloody knife! Am I next to be murdered?
I very much doubt the murderer would give you his weapon.
What do you mean?
Madame, he would have used it.
Oh, my head!
Did you touch the knife?
Of course not! What a question!
I will take that as a no.
Yep, that's a bloody knife, all right.
Is this knife the real murder weapon, or is it a red herring?
Well, I mean, it's got something on the blade. You'll spin me right round, baby, right round.
Mrs. Hubbard is distraught, Poirot. I should stay with her. Please go on without me.
I have every right to be distraught. Thank you, Mr. Book.
So am I not going to take this for evidence?
Is this knife?
You know, I should really take this. It shouldn't just be left in the room, you know. Prove the knife is the murder weapon. And I would have to talk to the doctor, because the doctor is the one who took the drawing of the injuries. Oops, wrong room. Sorry. Oops, wrong room. Doctor.
Dr. Constantine, we may have found our murder weapon. We need to make certain.
There is a pretty quick way to be sure. I have estimated the depth of the wounds. You can easily find the depth of each wound by comparing the width. There are 5 of them that I am not sure about. Test them, and then we will compare our results.
I will do as you say, Doctor.
Oh, God damn it. Math. I must compare the size of the wounds to the width of the knife blade. For each wound in the body, find the depth that could match the knife shape to check if it could be the murder weapon. Well, the blade of the knife is 12 centimeters wide and 20 centimeters in depth.
No, not good.
Centimeters, 13 centimeters.
Think, Poirot. That is not a
Oops,
good
sorry,
answer.
wrong one. Hold on. I didn't notice that they were doing that.
I do not think that's the right answer. No. I must admit I know this is wrong, but I do not think that's the right answer. I must admit I know. Think, well, this is wrong. No, not good. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. Think, Poirot. I do not think that... No, not good. I must admit... I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
No, it just took me moving that bar a whole bunch
What do
until
you
I got
think?
to the right
Is this
size.
knife really the murder weapon?
There can be no doubt. You found the same depths as the estimate I made during the preliminary autopsy. I can assure you that you hold in your hands the weapon that took Ratchet's life.
Oh, thank you for finally waking up.
Thank you. I feel way better now.
The rest gave you time to sleep off most of the effects of the drug.
I'm still a bit groggy.
That's understandable.
Are you able to continue your story now?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Oh,
Where
fuck me.
was I?
You
Fuck
were
me.
explaining how
Metaphorically.
you returned to the Armstrong house to tell them their poor little child was dead.
Yes, that's it. I felt helpless. My part in the case was officially over, but I knew I couldn't let it go. Daisy deserved